This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Undoubtedly, good leadership is the foundation of any progressive society. And if any country is to survive, the tenets of effective leadership must blossom to a point where nothing is left obscure. We cannot be oblivious of what good leadership has done for many countries around the world. It has always been at the center of their various strides of development. Many world leaders have at different times written their names on the right page of history through their works and their leadership qualities. Yet, there are many others who took their nations to the precipice of pain, anguish, and misery. For instance, how can we ever forget leaders like Charles Taylor, Mussolini, Idi Amin, Jonas Savimbi, Hitler, Bokassa, Stalin, Pinochet, and many others who committed unspeakable onslaught against their own people. But people around the world regularly remember the glorious contributions of Gandhi, Lincoln, Pope John Paul II, Mandela, Awolowo, Sankara, and scores of others who touched humanity in very amazing ways. Now, why do political leaders fail? 1. The elements or factors of love and hate. These two symbolic features clearly underpin the two sets of leaders earlier mentioned. The effective leaders succeeded because they had true love for their people. On the contrary, the despotic ones like Idi Amin ruled their subjects with iron fists and had nothing in them to engender or promote empathy and compassion. They simply had no loving spirit. So generally speaking, they failed in leadership because they ruled without love. They undermined the sovereignty of their people, but most importantly, they did not believe that their citizens had the right to life and liberty. 2. Serving without passion. Many political leaders fail because they have no meaningful attachment to the call of duty. Even when they seemingly have a vision, they are usually not committed to the full realization of that purpose. Therefore, they become victims of a lost opportunity. Good leaders are devoted to their jobs in spite of special challenges that may come their way. By being laid back, bad leaders send the wrong signals to the people under their watch, and this adversely affects the command structures of their countries. 3. Love of authority. This attitude is very common these days, whereby prospective leaders jostle vigorously for prestigious positions, simply for the sake of authority and power. But no sooner than they attain such positions that they begin to jettison the responsibilities that come with their brief. Progressively, they become less and less enthusiastic about accountability, and ultimately, leadership suffers a huge setback. Leaders in this category usually mount the saddle without any set goals or blueprint. They are simply ceremonial leaders who love the big moments, the big occasions that proceed with colors and garlands. 4. Leadership without focus. A lot of leaders, particularly in third world countries, just waddle through their offices. They do not act with care or sound judgment, and neither do they pay attention to details. They may have a work plan, but this is not adhered to with tact or precision. Leaders here are sloppy. They lack creativity and imagination, and because they are not meticulous, a lot of things can go wrong outside their knowledge. 5. Greed and selfishness. These two negative attributes are totally intertwined. Tragically, they are perhaps the greatest reasons for leadership failure in many countries today. Many governments fail because their leaders are chiefly concerned with their own personal interests or pleasures and scandalous wealth that often elevates primitive accumulation. 6. Lack of integrity. A leader who wears integrity as a shield is an enormous asset to his country. In point of fact, any leader who carries integrity as a strong point will be fearless, trustworthy, respectable, law-abiding, humble, and pious. He will abide by set rules and will not do anything to jeopardize the future of his country. That's our editorial today from Providence Television International. Join us next time for another edition. Emmanuel Erariwa in Benin.